Welcome in, guys. How's everybody doing? My man John still not feeling so hot. Gonna be just myself today. Crazy day on the way in the NBA. Trade deadline in full effect. Not too crazy of moves yet, but I will say I'm a little bit late recording all these trades coming out right now, updating some things on the Massive Edge site. By the way, become a member if you guys want updates throughout the day and all the news going on and see how we bet against it or with it. Just some small moves so far. Buddy Hield getting sent to Philly. Frank Courtmont, who has been asking for a trade for a full year, finally getting dealt to Indiana. Marcus Morris and his big contract going along with it. Some of the other moves, Kelly Olynyk from Utah to Toronto. They made a move Wednesday with Fontecchio, and we'll see if this is just kind of the build-up a little bit with Utah here. Apparently, there's might be some bigger moves in store for the Jazz. They're working with cap space, different things. Got to wait to see what's going on with that. Minor move, Daniel House getting sent to the Pistons. Then we have one of the bigger moves so far, Gordon Hayward from Charlotte to OKC. OKC gives up Trey Mann in this instance, and Bertans, man, the bigger case in that. Charlotte hoping to get a young piece they can build with. Gordon Hayward, he's just been injury-ridden since game one in Boston. But I do like a bit more of a vet presence in that wing position, 3-and-D guy for this young OKC team. They definitely needed at least one older piece that can provide valuable minutes. I think this is going to diminish his role. But because he's injury-prone, I think that's beneficial to him. So going to keep on waiting to see. I'm just keep on refreshing a couple different sites, waiting for more news. Mavs, they acquired Daniel Gafford. They give up Rashawn Holmes in that one. But yeah, a lot of trades going on today. A lot of teams yet to make moves. Be careful of your bets based on the trade deadline today. Lakers obviously always active in deadlines. Bulls expected to be active in the deadline. Be careful with them as well. Some of these other teams going today. San Antonio, don't expect much movement. Golden State, perhaps. We've heard a lot about maybe Klay Thompson, maybe today's the day. We'll see if that's going on. As far as yesterday, we get a push on Cavs -8, beat the closing line on that to get a winner with the Cavs second half -5.5. That one comes out as a W. So push on one of those games, on that one of those bets, win the other. And then we had a loser with the 76ers last night. No Embiid, big problems in Philly. Golden State scored 15, season low in any quarter. In the first quarter of that game, shot just 23%. And it was all downhill from there from the 76ers. Golden State dominated the other three quarters. Ended up being a 20-point blowout. That's what we had going on as far as our action yesterday. Let's look about some of the other games that went down. How about them New Orleans Pelicans? Any of you guys who are truly loyal Cash It Pod viewers, which I appreciate it. If you are, you guys know I've been talking about the Pellies plus 5,000 to win the chip back in October. And I love this Pelicans team. Absolutely love the starting five. Interested to see if they make any moves. And they went into the hottest teams building last night and absolutely took care of business. Let's talk about a trend we mentioned yesterday. Forgot to bring that up. How about the overs in these games on the teams? Last game of trip, Toronto. Last game of trip at Charlotte. That's another over on a team on a last game of the trip. We've now seen that with the Clippers and the Hawks this week. We saw that with the Lakers and the Hornets. We saw that with the Raptors and the Hornets. We saw that with the Kings and the Cavs. So I believe it is 5-0 in all these instances on the last game of a road trip, extended road trip, not 2-game trips, 5, 6, 7-game road trips. We do have one of those spots going on today with the Golden State Warriors. And that's the top game on the card. So let's go ahead and start diving into it. I'm going to be looking over on my left screen here a lot today, guys. A lot of information trade deadline wise, waiting to see what all we get. Line movement is going to be affected by it. So if I keep looking off or if I get off topic, I apologize. It's going to be news coming up here as I'm recording this today. And yeah, let's go ahead and dive on in. Let's get the little beverage real quick. All right, Golden State at Indiana. I already told you guys what I'm looking at here based on that trend. It helps that it's the Indiana Pacers who are the highest scoring team in the NBA, bottom 5 in points allowed. Golden State on a back-to-back here in the final game of a trip. Just told you Indiana made that trade. Halliburton, he's listed questionable today. He played more minutes in his last go around, 29 minutes. We'll see if he keeps that minutes increase, working his way back up. And a third, he's been missing games. He's questionable. As far as the matchup history, Indiana, a lot of success. They're 5-2, 6-1 against the spread the last 7 meetings. Golden State coming off a pretty good couple of wins against the Nets, who were shorthanded, and against the Sixers, who were obviously shorthanded. Prior to that, a couple of tough losses. Can they round out this trip in a tough spot here in Indiana? As far as Golden State, so far, no injury updates on any of their guys. Like I said, though, trade deadline, be weary here. Golden State has definitely had some rumors going around about them, potentially a move. Long story short, lean to the over and slightest of leans here to the Pacers. Got to see what this number closes. Got to see what's going on with the deadline. Got to see if Golden State rests anybody. Very slight lean on the side there, but heavier lean to the total. Let's talk about the Spurs and the Magic. Spurs back-to-back. They hung tight with the Heat. They were down 2 at the half. Wemby, decent game. Vassell and Johnson, though, just 1 for 10 from 3. So a bit of a brutal game from them. San Antonio, they're in some woes right now. They have now dropped 5 in a row, 1-4 against the spread. And as far as this Orlando team, they're coming back from a 3-2, 4-1 against the spread trip. Their last game, though, they dropped it, got absolutely blown out at Miami. Both these teams coming up blowout losses at Miami. As far as the matchup history, somewhat Spurs, 5-2 straight up against the spread the last 7 meetings. There's a caveat, though. Magic beat them in San Antonio earlier this season, and they beat them in Orlando last year. So Spurs, 5-2 last 7, but the last 2 wins in Orlando this year, in San Antonio this year, in Orlando last year. Obviously, this game in Orlando tonight. No interest here in laying double digits with the Magic. They're your best against the spread team in the NBA, but that's not covering double-digit lines very often. So would be a lean here to the Spurs, who are on a back-to-back. Again, 2 younger teams. Who knows how active they get in the deadline today? Ever so slightly a lean there. Then we got a big injury game. The Mavs and the Knicks. Just told you guys that Dallas traded Richaun Holmes. They're going to be getting Gafford. They're big 2, Kyrie and Luka, both probable to give it a go today. And we got big injuries here for the Knicks. We got OG Anunoby, Quentin Grimes, they're still out. Obviously, Randall, he's still out. Sims, he's questionable. He missed last game. And then we have Jalen Brunson, who left last game. He's questionable. So have to see what's going on with Jalen Brunson. All I know is, shout out to anybody who's been rocking with me on my boy DiVincenzo these last few games. He's been absolutely cooking in the props. He's been averaging about 15 three-pointer attempts a game, taking 15 threes a game. That is Steph Curry type shot attempts per game from deep. I'll back any prop on anyone getting that much attention. And just to make matters better, our boy Jalen Brunson with the questionable tag makes you think, if Brunson's out and DiVincenzo is this number 1 option, close your eyes, bet those DiVincenzo props. Bad news is it won't be as much plus money, obviously. I mean, the 30-point prop was plus 800 at the start of all this, and now last game it was 420. If this is a situation where Brunson is out, I mean, that's going to be probably even money almost, but still going to be rocking DiVincenzo. He's getting way too many looks as a number 2 option. If he becomes a number 1 option tonight, looking at the DiVincenzo props. As far as this actual game, Mavs, they won the last 3 meetings, 2-1 against the spread. Some pretty hard-fought, tight games. They have some success in New York. Coming off a nice win there at Brooklyn. They're 2-0 on this trip so far. And you have the Knicks, who haven't covered the last couple of games. Coming off a win against the shorthanded Grizzlies, let them hang in and backdoor. Got to see what's going on with Brunson. I mean, this is already a Knicks team down 3 starters, and Anunoby, Randall, and Robinson. They're already down multiple guards. Obviously, they trade quickly. You're down Grimes. I mean, it's just a really, really short-handed Knicks team. So you take away the best player in Brunson, absolutely zero interest in the Knicks. Would be Dallas or nobody. Again, got to see the Brunson info, and maybe I'm back on that prop. We'll definitely back on that prop with DiVincenzo. Just depends on what we're laying, if Brunson is in or out. Next matchup, Cleveland at Brooklyn. Two teams not too active in the deadline yet. More rumors coming around. Donovan Mitchell for the offseason, that people could land him in free agency, unrestricted, this and that. We'll have to wait and see. Cavs, they're back-to-back after a win at Washington. They get that push first on the full game spread, cover on the halftime line. Mitchell, 40 piece in that one. And this Nets team coming off a loss to the Mavs. They're now just 2-7, 2-6-1 against the spread their last 9 home games. Matchup history is kind of all Cleveland, but not really. They won the last 4 meetings. They won the last 3 in Brooklyn, but by an average of 3 points. I mean, really, really tight game. So probably going to be another one of those. Brooklyn hangs in tight within the number. Cavs get another win on a back-to-back. We'll see what the situation is. Cavs, your NBA best road team. We'll see if that continues going on today. Brooklyn or nobody in that game. Actually, I guess I'll tell you. That is the bet John sent out. Brooklyn Nets. I'll give you guys that free bet. Shout out to everybody who tuned in. Gotta like Brooklyn here. I mean, this is a team that's really tough to back right now. Cavs, who are playing absolutely lights out, didn't look as good last night. And then just the back-to-back, Brooklyn with the day off. Always play this matchup tight. Always want to take the home dog here with the points. We'll see if Cleveland sits anybody on the back-to-back. Obviously, Garland, Mobley, they've all had their injury issues. But yeah, took the Nets plus the 6. We'll see how that treats us tonight. Next matchup, one I'm pretty excited for. T-Wolves at Milwaukee. T-Wolves, gross game last time around, up by 23 points. Blow it to the Bulls, lose it by 6 in overtime. Kobe White outscored Minnesota in the fourth quarter. You heard that right. Kobe White outscored Minnesota in the fourth quarter single-handedly. So that's what went down in their last game. Bucks coming back from a disgusting road trip. 1-4 on the trip so far. And one of my buddies is just giving me a phone call. I believe it is about this trade. The Knicks have traded Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, and 2 seconds to the Pistons for Bogdanovich and Burks. I knew Burks was in the deal. I did not know that Bogdanovich was a part of this same trade. So that is a nice addition there for the Knicks. It's going to take away from our DiVincenzo props a little bit. Don't know if he's going to be going tonight. We'll have to wait and see. I doubt it. Pistons coming off that game, West Coast, but makes sense why he did not play last night. By the way, Pistons, no Bogdanovich, no Cunningham. They are now 4-6, 8-2 against the spread without Cade Cunningham. Get rid of him. Send him on the deadline. Jaden Ivey, what a fucking game last night. All right, sorry. I warned you guys. I might get on sidetrack a little bit. That was one of them. Anyways, T-Wolves at the Bucks. This Bucks team, bad trip. Welcome in Doc Rivers, 1-4 on the road trip. They're now 4-15 against the spread their last 19 games. Good news, they're 5-1, 3-3 against the spread the last 6 at home. So playing better ball at home. Looking at a cheap favorite. In that last game where they were at Phoenix, they were already shorthanded. No Lillard, no Lopez. Lopez now probable. He just had a kid, so we'll see if he has some of that dad strength with him today. And then Chris Middleton left that game, played 8 minutes. He's going to be out. And Damian Lillard still with a questionable tag. So waiting on seeing what's going on here with Milwaukee as far as Damian Lillard. They've been playing shorthanded. As far as the matchup history, Bucks, they won and covered both meetings last year. Welcome home, Doc. First home game back with Milwaukee Bucks. All this bullshit. 1-4. Just wait. This is where things are going to turn around here for this Milwaukee Bucks team. I know a lot of people give a lot of hate to Doc Rivers. He's a good coach, not a great coach, not going to take your team necessarily to the next level, but they're also a top 3 team in their conference, respectively, year in, year out under Doc Rivers. Milwaukee, a little bit of a slide on the road trip. You have a lot of stuff going on, heading into the deadline. Coming out of the All-Star break, I'm expecting big things from Milwaukee once they have that chemistry bit. But I expect big things from them tonight. I think a little bit of a statement game in the first game back, especially if Lillard is there. Would be looking at the cheap favorite or nothing with the Milwaukee Bucks in this matchup. Then we got Bulls at Memphis. Bulls coming off that crazy win. Have to imagine it's quite the letdown spot. They were down by as much as 23 against Minnie. Just told you how that dude, Kobe White, absolutely balled out in the fourth quarter. And you have this Grizzlies team. Backdoor was open for us against the Knicks the other night. They were down big in that one. Ended up losing it just by 10. They shot 57% from 3. 6 guys hit 3 or more threes. I mean, just Talk about when you have no Jackson, no Bain, no Moran, no Rose, no Smart. List goes on. 6 motherfuckers hit threes. That's impressive. That's impressive. We'll see if that continues. Memphis, they have lost 6 straight, but they're 3-6, 7-2 against the spread their last 9. They keep covering numbers. 4-1 against the spread their last 5 at home. I'll see that continue. As far as the matchup history, Bulls killed them in Chicago earlier in January. But hey, Grizzlies, last 3 meetings in Memphis, 3-0 straight up against the spread, winning by an average of 13 points. Hey, this is Grizzlies or nobody. Grizzlies keep covering. I don't care if they got 2-way contracts. I don't care if they're picking up me and John on the side of the road. Some dudes from LA Fitness putting them out there. They're keeping it close. They're keeping it close. So we'll see if that continues again. Bulls in a letdown spot. Memphis playing solid ball. Own the matchup at home. I know it's a different Grizzlies team. Grizzlies plus the 6 is worth a look in that one. Weird note on this game, by the way. This is 2 of your worst scoring offenses in the NBA. Grizzlies are your worst. Chicago 26th. A lot of over trends, though. Last 2 meetings went over. Bulls last 3 went over. Grizzlies last 2 went over. And because it's one of your 2 of your lower scoring teams, you're looking at one of your lower totals. In fact, it is the lowest total on the slate today at 216.5. So ironically, would be a lean to the over here with the Grizzlies and the Bulls. Don't really expect to say that too often, but that would be the lean in that one. We got Jazz at Phoenix. Utah Jazz making some moves, moving some pieces around. None of the key pieces yet. But waiting to see if they make any big moves today. Already made a couple of trades. Got to see what else is cooking up. Would be a lean here as far as this game goes to the Suns. And I don't like laying points with the Suns. I like backing this Utah team. They're playing good ball. They're just 2-4, 3-3 against the spread the last 6 on the road. You guys know I was riding them crazy on their nice little win streak. What was it? They went 11-2, 12-1 against the spread across 13 games. Had a 3-game losing streak. Come back with big wins. Down 20 against Milwaukee. Come back and win that. Then they get OKC, one of the top teams in the West, win that game. So a couple of big wins here for Utah at home. Little bit of a letdown, I would say, going into Phoenix and Suns. They are 5-1, 3-3 against the spread the last 6 meetings in Phoenix. Also playing good ball right now. And I don't expect many moves from the Suns. Their starting lineup is set in my eyes. Grayson Allen, Nurkic, KD, Beal, who is questionable today, so be aware of that, and obviously Devin Booker. I don't think any of those 5 pieces get moved any shape, way, how, no matter how you put it. Maybe they make a move in the second string, maybe something like, but I don't expect the Suns to be affected by the deadline. Utah, I don't know. I really don't know. They made some crazy bold moves the last couple of years, and I wouldn't be surprised if they have another bold move up their sleeve. So be wary backing the Utah Jazz. Then we got the Lakers and the Nuggets. Nuggets coming off a couple of wins against the Blazers. They covered neither of those. They're now 4-2, but 2-4 against the spread their last 6 games. And they're the 3rd worst against the spread road team this season. 9-16-1. Lakers, also one of your bad road teams against the spread. But they've been playing good ball at home lately. 6-2 their last 8. I believe it's 17-9. Don't quote me on that on the season at home this season. Then you have this Lakers team coming off a terrific game at Charlotte. And I say terrific because it's the last game of a trip. Absolute letdown spot. I know the Hornets are bad. I know everyone and their mother is beating the Hornets right now. But D'Lo, AD, LeBron, all 26 plus. AD with a triple-double. Coming off a big win against the Celtics, then a big win against the Knicks. And then you have this letdown spot looking ahead to this game against the Denver Nuggets. You get a triple-double from AD. Your big 3 all contributes. That's what you want. D'Lo, he is questionable. Don't know. Is he going to be traded? DeJounte Murray sat yesterday. There's rumors with that trade still going on. Bogdanovich sat for the Pistons. Obviously, just precautions. I think D'Lo goes because I don't know if he gets traded. It's starting to look like he won't be traded. He's playing his best basketball in a while since he was an all-star with Brooklyn these last couple of weeks here. So going to be hard to move off that. But either way, lean to the Lakers. Lean to the Lakers. I don't like saying it. And just one of those ownership or revenge questions. We talk about that all the time. Nuggets have won the last 6 meetings. That includes a 4-game sweep in the Western Conference Finals last year. That includes opening night in Denver. But the Lakers won both meetings in the regular season in LA last year by a combined 29 points. So Good success for the Lakers at home in this matchup. If you don't include the 4-game sweep in the Western Conference Finals, this is playoff revenge against one of your worst road teams in the NBA. Just got to see what's going on. Who do the Lakers have today? Do they make any moves? What's not? So do not bet the Lakers until the deadline is officially over. Then would be worth a look here if they still have their key pieces. Last game on the card, Pistons at Portland. Detroit, big news, just traded Bogdanovich to the Knicks. So that's going to make it tough to back this team. Cunningham, he's probable to give it a go tonight. Letdown spot. That's what screams to me here in this situation. Absolute letdown spot for the Pistons. The Blazers, they're coming off a couple of covers against the Nuggets, but a couple of losses as far as their last several games. They're 2-2, 4-0 against the spread their last 4, and now 9-3, 7-5 straight up, 9-3 against the spread their last 12 at home. Blazers playing good ball, and they own this matchup. They've won 8 straight meetings, covering each of the last 7, and they've won the last 6 in Portland, 4-2 against the spread by an average of 13.8 points. Yeah, Pistons in a letdown spot, just made a couple of trades. Blazers, who knows? Malcolm Brogdon's, of course, in the rumors. Got to see what's going on. Grant's been a little bit in the rumors, so maybe they make a move. If this is a full-strength Blazers team, I like the spot for them tonight. Complete letdown for a Pistons team who will be shorthanded. So lean to the Blazers in this nightcap game. But again, as I stated at the beginning, guys, please be careful with the deadline today. Don't make any moves or bets beforehand. We'll see if we have any more updates. Let me refresh this. Yeah, so it looks like as I'm recording this podcast, and this will kind of give you a timeline for when I recorded, the Alec Burks, Quentin Grimes, Bogdanovich deal was the last deal that I am here for. So we'll see what all cooks up the rest of the day. If you guys want that information, you guys want our bets based on that information, sign up on massaedge.com or download the Massa Edge app. As always, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. John is pretty banged up. I will give you guys that heads up. So I'm hoping he's with me tomorrow to do our Super Bowl coverage. If not, it's just going to be me. We're going to do a deep dive on the Super Bowl, talk a little bit about some of the props. I'm not crazy about props in the Super Bowl because there's a million of them. I think you can get yourself, kind of lost in the sauce a little bit. But I understand this is a bit more of a betting for entertainment game, less about betting with an edge, which we all are about betting with an edge. But I know a lot of you guys are going to be betting for entertainment this weekend. So we'll try to make it a bit more of an entertainment, better, friendly episode tomorrow. We'll see what we can cook up in that. And we'll see if my man John is with me. Other than that, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Please do me a favor. Drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you haven't. And hey, let's make some damn money.